What's going on, traders? It's Ricky with TechBot Solutions. Thank you guys again for joining us for another live stream. For those that are joining us for the first time, I do go live every single day, Monday through Friday, and I go live because we trade stocks during pre-market hours and then right a little bit after the market opens. If I don't actually execute a stock, I just share my whole thought process when it comes down to breaking down a stock and trying to identify potential. And then I have my group joining right now. So I have a group, it's TechBot Solutions. We're a little bit over now 38,000 members worldwide. And the thing that we do best is we provide a clear and simple platform for both new and experienced traders. If you guys would like to be a part of it, it is the Facebook group link down below. You simply have to have a Facebook account to join, and it is a free networking group that will allow you to network, share best practices and mistakes with over 38,000 members worldwide. So let's go ahead and get started. It looks like we have a good amount of them jumping in. And we have a lot of people that are very happy within our group chat right now because of the performance of AMD and like JDST, which are a lot of are very common stocks that we've been calling out that are performing very well during pre-market hours. For those that don't know what pre-market hours is, you're allowed to trade all during pre-market hours 30 minutes before the market opens. So right now it is 6:16 a.m. here in Arizona, but the market does not open till 6:30 a.m. But they still allow you to trade from 6 to 6:30 if you have the specific account that will allow you to, trade during pre-market hours, and then there's extended hours. So let's go ahead and I'm gonna start sharing my screen. Go from there. If you guys have not checked out yesterday's video, I did a top 5 stock for our Sunday stock talk. Feel free to check it out and give me some feedback. And then I have a series of helpful videos that answer a series of frequently asked questions. Be sure to navigate through that before. Feel free to ask any questions within our group, but feel free to navigate through that just to get some of your answers, your questions answered a little bit quicker. And guys, AMD is bouncing back a lot quicker than what I thought. Again, excuse me, I just burped. But AMD has had a very common trend that when the market does open, it usually sees a pullback. Usually when market opens, it sees a pullback. And then let's see if we can go far enough back. Usually when the market opens, it has a pullback, but it's been on a consistent downward trend, and that's something that I called out yesterday in our Sunday stock talk. If we do the 180-day analysis, it was following this trend of bouncing at the support line after it broke below $14 or even $13 and $13.50. It went on this huge downward trend. I called out the support based on its previous support here around 1150, but it didn't necessarily bounce at exactly 1150, but it looks like now it's actually showing signs of upward momentum, and it's definitely showing a lot more potential, right? It still has a lot more margin to make, like long term from where it previously peaked out at. But it's just really nice now being able to see that the EMA lines are now starting to bounce back up, and then the candlesticks are now above the EMA lines, showing that it's really starting to trend back up, and that's one of the biggest things. But let's again not get overwhelmed or not get too hyped up. Just know that there has been a previous support here at around $12.60, which looks to be somewhat of a resistance. Usually AMD experiences pullbacks during market open. So if you are up, it's up to you if you want to lock in profits as soon as the market opens, or if you want to, hold on to it for it to continue to rise and potentially hit $13 a day. Whatever it is that you plan to do, again, we have 3 rules with TechBot Solutions. We don't trade any stocks based on anyone else's opinion. We only invest in what we understand, and we always have a plan with trading. So I'm going to go ahead and start saying what's up to a couple of you. Thank you guys again for joining. What's up, Good Mood Tuned? What's up, Frank? What's up, MF Chaos? What's up, Gonzalez? What's up, Joe? What's up, City Limits PK? Frank? Freddie? Matthew? Carson? Nathan? Port? Steven? I got you, Matthew. Amir? BMW 2085? Freddie? Pratt? Steven? Edwin? Patrick? Ruben? What's going on, team? Hey. But I'm super pumped, guys. It looks like we're off to a really good, start of the morning, especially for those that were able to, that we trade like AMD very often, and AMD, Although, like, I think it's just a very simple stock to understand. If you guys don't know what AMD is, then simply look into it and see if it's a stock that you guys would like to invest in. And if you don't, then 100% don't invest in it. But it's one that it's kind of like one of my go-to stocks, just like JNUG and JDST. And we do extremely well, like long term. And usually when it's at like the $11 price point or $12 price point that it was at, it usually tends to bounce back up, usually, right? There's always still a form of risk. That's why it's so important to have some form of risk management, meaning that have an overall stop loss in mind. But the reason I didn't end up buying AMD was due to my position that I had with SAVE, and then a small position that I took on M, which is Macy's. So that's simply why I didn't decide to jump on AMD. I 100% would have once it started trending back up and bounced at $11.50 because I knew it had so much potential, and now it's trending again at the $12.60 mark. So I'd like to see how this opens during pre-market hours. I'm going to go back to the 1 minute candlestick, and I'm going to put my alert to see if it actually breaks above this once the market opens. But something that most likely I think will happen if it does have a sell-off, I'd like to see if it actually goes below 1240. And if it does, then maybe we can get in at a good price. But again, I don't just want to get in at the lowest point. I really want to get in when it starts to bounce and then it starts to trend back up like this, right? You don't want to buy in when it's showing signs of downward momentum. You want to wait for the bounce, wait for it to start breaking these resistance points. Like let's say, for example, when it bounced at like $12 and then broke above 1210, that's showing that it's breaking these resistance, showing signs of upward momentum, and then it held above 1210 the entire time. That's a good sign of growth. So we'll have to see how it ends up going. It looks like it's starting to try to staircase up. So let's go ahead and move on. Snapchat, again, on a downward trend. We've been calling out Snapchat that breaks above 14. It's not really, showing too much potential. If you guys know what it is that I'm talking about. Yeah, as you guys can see right there, the overall resistance that it's had at $14 has not broken above 14. So I'm actually going to set my alert. I thought I had my alert set there. So JNUG. So JNUG was one that same thing happened on Friday. It had a pullback, and this was during pre-market hours, and then it had a pullback right as the market opened, and then went back up to its which is at $18.50. It's bouncing at the same support, so it looks like it bounced at $17.60. It's trying to bounce back up, and the margin for profit that it has from from lows to highs is about 3.26% based on its previous trend that it had during pre-market hours or during its performance on Saturday. What's it called? Friday. So overall, when it comes to JNUG, I think it's more on the overbought side. If we do a 20-day analysis, we can see that it's closer to its resistance based on usually where it peaks out and usually where it bounces. And I think JDST is more at its prime, right? Showing more signs that it's trying to hold above $60. Just know that JDST still has a good amount of margin to make up to potentially still drop even more. As well as JNUG still has a little bit more margin to rise a little bit more. I think maybe we can give JNUG 1 or 2 more days to be up here at the resistance before it really starts trending back down, meaning that we can move our attention to JDST if you see value in it. As it starts trending back up to, bouncing at the previous support that it had and its resistance. So again, it's all about identifying margins for profit. So from lows to highs, we've done this multiple times. It's about 17% margin for profit. You wait for the bounce, you wait for it to start trending back up, and you sell wherever you think, would be a good position to sell. Usually around 68 to 69 is a very common trend where it peaks out. Doesn't always hit above 70, as you can see, but when it does, it could potentially break above 70. So yeah, RAD, just like we called out yesterday in our Sunday stock talk. If we do a 2-day analysis during pre-market hours, it's already trending back up. We called out the resistance at $2.40. Let's see if I could actually pull it out when it goes. No, I like the, let's see. What I called out was the support that it had at $2.20. We've called that out numerous times. Bounce at 220, hit highs of 270, bounce at above 220 again, hit highs of like 240. and then bounce at 220 again, and then now it's trending back up to 240. Again, these bounces have been getting smaller and smaller, so be sure to lock in profits if you are trading RAD. Right now during pre-market hours, if we look at level 2, it looks like we have some buyers at 232, 233. Again, nothing huge. I think when I was, where is it at? Yeah, when I was looking at it, it was more at its peak right here. So around 236, and we had some sellers at 238. So it looks like it's slowly starting to trend up. And that's really just it. It's more at the resistance, so it's not necessarily something that I see a lot of value in. Oh, CVM. I did have someone direct message me to check out CVM. So I mean, it's one of the top stocks within my watch list right now due to volume. And I'm sure you guys can see why. It was usually trading above $2, and now it had a huge peak all the way up to $4.50. So we're able to identify a resistance. It looks like it's trying to hold above 325, or even, what is that, 335, and it's starting to trend back up. So if you guys can see that right there, it's starting to trend back up. Most likely it's going to have a resistance at $4. So that's where we can draw resistance lines if it continues to trend back up. Just know that because so many people probably held this specific stock overnight, once they see that they're up, what is that, like, I know, 56%. They would have been 100% up here. They're up 56%. A lot of them are going to start locking in profits. The demand might fall. And once the demand falls, again, that would mean that there's more sellers than buyers, and then that would lead to a drop. So usually a pullback during the market open. But it really looks like it's trying to trend back up right now, which is a good sign. But just know, don't think it's going to trend back up and it's going to be all dandy. Really be realistic with everything that's most likely going to happen. So I definitely think this one has potential, but I do think that we're going to break below the support just because of so many people wanting to lock in profits. BIOC, no. JDSC, I called that one out already. So it looks like JDST is at 62 right now. That's a support. If it breaks below 62, then that's most likely meaning that it's going to trend back down. Just know the importance of locking in profits. If you bought in down here and you're up right now, you might want to set a stop loss just to lock in profits, meaning that if you put a stop loss at like $72 or $62, if the market price goes below 62, or even if you want to do like the lowest point, 61.89, if it goes below that price or hits 61.89, it will sell your position automatically, locking in those profits. Because if it breaks this point, then it's most likely going to trend back down to the $60 support. And do you really want to give up all the profit that you've already made? I know that it has so much more potential for profit, but just know the importance of locking in profits altogether. And that's universal for every stock that you guys are trading. If you guys are up right now, set a stop loss, lock in those profits, and then just give it that cushion for it to continue trending up. But just know the importance of locking in profits as well. LPCN, I saw this one during pre-market hours. It's up to new highs, 470. Overall resistance, again, more on the oversold side. Not too interested in that one. Looks like it's after its earnings report, did not do very well. Huge drop right here. This might be one that we might want to keep an eye on if it breaks certain resistance. So if it breaks above maybe 630, that can show that it's starting to trend back up. Okay. All right, guys, a little bit over 1 minute before the market opens. SQ is also another one that is starting to trend back up. I saw that it broke above $25, which was a previous support, which became a new resistance, as you guys could see on Friday. And it's stuck kind of here at 25.24. So again, if you guys are up right now and you guys were buying it here or trading it at these lower points, just know the importance of locking in profits as well. It does have an overall resistance, as you guys can see here, at about $26. Highs up 26, 27. Don't be greedy, lock in profits. I'm going to wait for a pullback, and if it continues to trend back up and bounce at $25, then that would validate that support, and that might be something interesting to look at. If you guys could see, I called this one out yesterday. This is Macy's. The reason that I called this one out is because it's starting to flatline here, and now it's looking like it's starting to trend back up. I'm waiting for it to break above $21 and hold above $21 for me to make the decision to buy back in again, just because it does have a good amount of margin to make up to be going back to where it usually traded at. So let me just recap real quick, just so I know we went through a good amount of stocks right now. So AMD, the stocks that I'm going to be focused on are AMD with a pullback. It looks like it's still trending up, so it doesn't mean that it's going to experience a pullback. I'm also going to be looking at JDST and JNUG. I'm going to be looking at CVM due to this due to this gap that it has, and then I'm going to be keeping my eyes on SQ and M. So, all right, there we go. What's up, Colin G? ODP. Just looks like it's on a continuous downward trend. I think, so again, the ones that I call out that, the reasons I love chasing red stocks. I love chasing red stocks when they start to trend back up. This thing's not trending back up, so until it, oh no, yeah, that's JDST. Until it starts trending back up, then, I won't really keep my eyes on it. So I'll set my alert on it, but thank you for the call out, and I'll definitely add it to my watch list. So it looks like AMD is actually trending back up, which is huge. There we go. Guys, just know that it's not going to trend back up forever. Know the importance of locking in profits. Anyone within the group, I'm sure a good amount of you guys are trading AMD. We've actually had a good amount of people that were talking about their position. M is bouncing. It looks like it's getting close to that resistance. Snapchat still dropping. CVM, again, the demand is falling. People locking in that profit. Watch that break below the support. Will it break? If it breaks, this thing's gonna tank. It looks like it's holding on. There we go. It broke below it, and there it goes. So it just went from highs of like 370 all the way down to 324. That's 14% loss, guys. That's why it's so important. So now it's starting to look like it's trending back up. So therefore it has a 14% potential for profit if it trends back up. So we need to break above this resistance at 336. But this would definitely be more of a momentum stock, and I will leave that for Connor. It's definitely not going to be, but look, it still has this little margin from right here, from highs of 1370. Man, AMD is, no, there we go. Alrighty. JNUG, let's take a look. All right, so JNUG is dropping again. That means JDST is back on the rise. Just know JNUG usually rises or bounces here at 1760. Just like we called it out, JNUG I think still has a little bit more margin for profit. It's going to be making its way slowly, I think, back up to its resistance and then really start coming back down. Or maybe today might be the day. Today might be the day where JNUG doesn't even hit that $19 resistance, just hit highs of 1850 or 1848, and then starts to trend back down while JDST starts to rise. So RAD is back at the support, so it looks like it hit an overall resistance. So it did hit 238. Again, we called out the previous support at 230. So if it bounces at 230 and starts to trend back up, then that might be a good indicator. Right now it's at 231, 232. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my alert when it starts to trend back up, just so I can keep the group up to date that RAD is trending back up to its overall resistance. Looks like Macy's right now has an overall resistance at about, still has a resistance at $21. It peaked out at $21 and then trended back down. Looks like it's struggling to break above it, but again, all we want to see is continuous signs of upward momentum, so we'll see how that one plays out. SQ back at the resistance. This might be a good price point to sell. Yeah, it looks like it's already having a sell-off. Again, this is usually where it peaked out at right as the market opened during pre-market hours, and it looks like the same thing is happening right now. It's hitting its resistance. RSI indicator showing that it's more on the oversold side, and we're seeing somewhat of a downward trend. If you guys can see this, it's starting to really build this kind of like hill-like trend. So we got PLUG, yes or no Sunday stock talk, with the support at $2, overall balance at $1.98, and it looks now like it's trending back to its previous resistance, which is 215 to 220. The exporting goods, we did talk about this one very briefly within our Sunday stock talk. We also called out that it had an earnings report or earnings call within the next couple of days. So until then, until it starts trending back up and showing signs of upward momentum, then we probably want to keep our eyes on this one too much. But what I will do is I will set my alert just so I can stay up to date on how this plays out. There we go, Office Depot. It's still not trending up, so not really wanting to keep my eyes out on this one too much. I was going to set my alert right now, but again, why set my alert right here if it's not something that I'm going to buy? I really want it to like kind of build this kind of cup, and then once it starts to trend back up, then that would be a better indicator for myself. There we go, another one just trying to make its way back up, but nope. The sell-off on LPC, and again, guys, it comes down to the very basics of support and resistance. Based on previous trends, 470 to 480 is way more on the overbought side. Therefore, usually, people are going to start locking in profits because they can label this as a good sell, and that's what decreases the demand for the purchase at 470, 480, and that's what causes, these downward trends. So I'm going to set my alert again when it goes below. I'm going to set my alert when it goes below 1410. Again, that's closer to the support. Give me a better indication that I'm getting in at a good buy if it bounces. Again, we have to be patient. We have to make sure that we're seeing the trade. But yeah, so course, again, more at the resistance right now. It's kind of struggling to break above the $46 resistance. If anything, I think it's going to slowly, once it breaks below $44, it's going to trend back down. Save. Again, with that drop, looks like we're about to break below 38. Will it hold? 38 used to be a previous support. So, I mean, this might be a good buy or a good point to cut losses. But the reason that I see so much potential in this specific stock is, I mean, SAFE is a Spirit Airlines company, multi-billion-dollar company. Overall resistance at 41 that it's been, a very common trend on. And with that being said, because it dropped so low, it's now trending back up, and it has a little bit more margin for profit, right? From 40 to 41, now it's 8%. And again, this is not a penny stock. This is a true caps, multi-billion-dollar company. So I think it's a lot easier for people to manage their risk with these higher price stocks. But again, only invest in what you see value in. And then we have the notorious HUSA that everyone always overhypes. I don't trade this one. It's less than $1. So not within my comfort zone, but what I do see is that it's starting to trend back up, and this might be a good one. Trend back up, it usually does pretty well. Overall, probably resistance at $60, 60 cents. XCO bounced at $1, and now it's trending back up. That's pretty nice. Yeah, let's go ahead and let's see if I can. All right, looks like some people that are using the Robinhood application are receiving some technical difficulties. Let me actually, I used to use Robinhood to day trade, as you guys could know, like they're my favorite brokerage company. I'm totally kidding. They're definitely not. Nothing wrong with them. I just don't like them. So I'll go ahead and give you guys their number. So let's go ahead and make sure it doesn't show. So it's 650-940-2700 because we know Robinhood's technical support when it comes to email support takes about 24 to 48 hours. So when it comes to actual execution, doesn't do you any good. So if you guys want to go ahead and save that number, or just save it so when someone asks for that Robinhood number, feel free to share it with them. Again, TechBot Solutions is a networking platform where we help encourage one another to be the best we can be in everything it is that we choose to pursue. Some of you guys might be asking, Ricky, what the heck? Why aren't you day trading anymore? Like I've stated before, I have an extremely busy day today. It's my first day back from Florida, and I slept at 2 o'clock and I woke up at 5:45 to jump on this live stream. But I'm jumping on some swing trades. Again, when you don't have time to day trade, don't force it. Don't try to do what you can't do because you can't dedicate the time to it. I'm not gonna have much time, and I didn't dedicate much time to identifying potential for day trade stocks. Although we did do the recap yesterday, I do a little extra things on the side to kind of really focus and only focus on quality stocks. One of the biggest things that I've been talking about within the past couple of days is when you guys are trading and you guys are trying to day trade, don't care about what everyone else is doing. If you have, 2 to 3 stocks that you guys see value in, set up a plan for each and every one of those. And then when it comes down to market open, focus on 1 to 2 of those. Keep it simple. And if it doesn't play out the way that you want it to, then, see what you did wrong and what you could have done better. Don't overwhelm yourself, especially not at an early age, because you're seeing so many people lock in thousands of dollars of profit, right? Hundreds of dollars of profit. I want you guys to know that happy per trade locking in 2 to 3% consistently than locking in randomly, these thousands of dollars of profit. But again, I want to congratulate every single individual within our group that shares their success. But I want the new traders to understand and to not get overhyped, thinking that okay, well, I want to jump on that with my $500 account. Just note that, it is possible, but realistically, I would like you to focus a little bit more on, how to get the whole mechanics done, being able to manage your risk, and really learning how to identify good quality stocks. Once you understand the mechanics of how to identify potential, how to manage your risk, and how to focus on quality stocks, and you're a disciplined trader, then the overall kind of mindset when it comes to trading is just going to be there, and therefore you can play that much more of a role within our networking group and help other people out as well. So the reason that I'm not day trading very often is just because I've been really busy within the past couple of days. So now I'm swing trading. I'm still trading SAV, and then I'm jumping on to these gold-based ETFs like JDST, and then Macy's, which is one that I see value in because I see value in, and I've dedicated enough time to focus on those. But that's really just it. Just wanted to let you guys know on why I haven't been very active when it comes to day trades. I've been jumping on from some time, on and off within the past couple of weeks, but nothing like I used to. I used to day trade maybe 2 to 3 times a day, and it's just not something that I'm doing right now very actively, just because I focus so much more of my time on jumping on calls with a lot of our members and stuff like that. So I have a bunch of consultation calls planned for the rest of today, and then I have a couple meetings, and then I'm going to go check out a property later this afternoon. So I'm pretty excited. If you guys want me to film it, just let me know. I'd be more than happy to. But just wanted to make sure that you guys understood that when it comes to any form of success, just like you guys know, you guys need to be knowledgeable in the market that you guys want to invest in. And if you guys aren't willing to dedicate the time and are just kind of going based off hope and trying to go based on luck, then this is not a market that you're going to be successful in. And I want to encourage you guys to be the most successful you guys can be in any market, but it definitely definitely needs time and patience and really developing yourself as an investor to really be successful in this long term. So just wanted to talk about that just so you guys understand once you guys see, because I think we're going to have a really good day within the group because of how AMD and JDST is planning out, because I've been calling out JDST this entire month with the support at $60, and it looks like a lot of people jumped in, so a lot of people are up right now. And I don't want people within our group, when they see that people are up what is it, 4 to 5%, some people are trading with $10,000 to $20,000 and making thousands of dollars of profit, to think it's super easy. Just know that these people dedicated time to identifying potential. They dedicated time to planning out their trade and managing the risk. And it's not just the simple thing that we buy and sell like everyone else pictures it to be. There's a lot of hard work that comes into it, and I don't want you guys to be just manipulated and thinking that this is something super easy. And it doesn't really require a lot of time. It definitely does require a lot of time. It feels super easy, and then everyone else in the world would be doing it, and 90% of people wouldn't be losing money. So just know the facts, right? But that's really just it. So thank you guys again for watching. I'm reading some of your guesses. Film it, bro, today. Life of Ricky Keynes. Steven. Alex Videos is saying, I can't watch you live anymore because of school. Guys, 100%, don't even worry about it. I know a lot of our members do go to school right now, and I'm going to be jumping back to classes as well. Just note that it's something that we have to do, but when it comes down to like hard work and putting extra time throughout our day to focus on the specific type of market that we want to be successful in, we will always find time, right? Regardless if it's 10 to 15 minutes a day because that's all you have. You know, if it's something that you're passionate about and something that you really see value in, then make the time for it, and then, you know, just make it the most efficient you can. Like really put in work. But that's really just it. So I'll try to film kind of my experience today when it comes down to checking this other investment property. I think if anything, I might make an offer today. I'm not too sure if I'm going to buy this one out cash. It's not a very expensive rental property, and it's a 2-bedroom. It's not necessarily something that I buy, but it's a really good opportunity based on it being a private party sell. And it's actually a buddy of mine that I met through TechBud Solutions, or that used to live around my community, that actually got me in contact with this specific purchase. So it all comes down to exposure. They know me as like an investor, and they're like, hey, look, this is opportunity. It's not even listed in the MLS, and you know, do you want it? So I can avoid all fees and kind of just buy it. So I'm super excited, and I think that would really make for a really good video. Can I get a shout out for Thane? So Thane Z, if you guys could see him, he has a thumbnail like with his like hair and stuff like that. It says Q&A. What year are you going into? BS, BA, or Masters? Okay, well, I'll answer that question. I'm going into my 4th year at ASU Polytechnic. My major is Technological Entrepreneurship and Management, and my major is a Bachelor of Science. So it looks like Robinhood is experiencing technical difficulties. Again, I did within this live stream post the number if you guys were able to save that. And I'll post it in the description. Just if you guys can direct people to this video, or just give them the number so they can call Robinhood. I'm sure they'd love the thousands of members we have within this group to start calling them. I think that's going to be hilarious. Kirk said I had him dine yesterday at the airport yesterday with that lady. Yeah, that was funny, right? So it's all about having fun with everything that you guys do. When it comes down to actually working and stuff like that, yeah, you know, it's serious, and treat it as serious as possible. But if you can have fun with it, then why not? But the reason that I said, let's go ahead and give Thane a shout out. So if you guys can see Thane right there, and if you guys have seen my new intro that says like, you know, venture capitalists and all this like kind of cool type of editing, I usually always edit my intros. I did not edit that intro, as you guys can tell. That is beyond, you know, what it is that I can do. So Thane is actually one that reached out to me, and that we're most likely going to be working together when it comes down to edits and stuff like that. As you know, I plan to during, I think based on what we've talked about, during the winter break, just so to make sure that people are out of school and stuff like that, we plan to do a couple of meet and greets and stuff like that. So Snapchat just broke below $12. Oh, broke above $12. Okay. But yeah, Thane is a guy that and I hope you don't get offended by this thing, because I love this style of editing. But just to give you guys a perspective on like what style of editing he has, I'm not sure if you guys know this YouTuber. His name is Create High. He filmed videos for like a while, and it was like super cool edits of like his lifestyle and stuff like that. That's the type of like super like a theatric type of edits that Thane does, and he's so cool. So. But yeah, that's really just it. And just to let you guys know, I've had a couple people reach out to me about brand deals and stuff like that. I'm not interested in being paid to talk about like any, like especially like these lower smaller companies are asking me to talk about their companies and talk about their merchandise, and you know, put their stuff in the description and use my affiliate codes and stuff like that. And I think when it comes down to like affiliate codes and at least affiliate marketing, when it comes to like my own approach, it's not something that I'm very interested in, because I think it's very biased. and I don't want to provide you guys information that's based on what I'm getting compensated. So that's not something that I'm going to be doing unless Turo or like Canes tells me, things that I'm actually interested in, I'd be more than happy to. But if any of you guys have any companies when it comes down to actual I had two companies. I'm not even sure if they actually sent me anything, but they said they were going to send me out their apparel for what their company is and stuff like that, and then I can just wear it. And for you guys, for my viewers, and for people that are part of my community of Technical Solutions, if you guys want me to simply, I won't really. It's not that I won't talk about your company, but if you guys want me to just like wear your t-shirts, I'd be more than happy to, or wear whatever it is that you guys make. I love supporting small businesses, and I love supporting our members, and that's something 100% that I'll always do. I don't want to be compensated, but I also don't want to have an affiliate link. I'll simply post the link if you guys want me to, but I don't want people to feel forced to, oh, well, Ricky wears it, then you should wear it. Just know everything it is that I talk about. If I'm wearing some other member's brand, I'd be more than happy to wear it and to talk about it to help your business out in any way possible. But I don't want to be associated when it comes to being an affiliate and being compensated based on sales, because I think that's pretty biased. So I hope you guys understand on that specific note. Do you eat canes every day? All right, we'll end it in that. You're my idol, dude. Ray. Appreciate that, man. So we'll end in that. So people always ask, do I eat canes every day? Honestly, guys, I maybe in like realistic numbers, I probably eat canes every other day. I know, like yesterday, I came back from my trip from Florida. My buddy picked me up at the airport, and the first thing that we did was like, dude, I'm starving. Let's go get some canes. And I was, he was just like, no, it's so late. I was like, dude, I'll pay for you. Like, let's just go. Like, I'm starving right now. And it's just something that I really enjoy. It became kind of like a joke that like I eat canes every day, and then I just really eat it every day now, or every other day. But yeah, I just think it's funny. So guys, I'm gonna leave it there. I have a meeting at 7 o'clock, so we have a couple minutes left on reaching out to the live stream, or kind of typing out in the live stream. For all those that are watching, just continue working hard, continue doing what it is that you guys love. Make it simple, keep it simple when it comes down to like trading stocks. Don't overwhelm yourself. And then if you want to jump on a video call, so I did have a couple planned for the weekend. I had to push them for this upcoming week. Feel free to reach out to me. The link is provided for you down below if you guys would like to jump on those video calls with me. I actually changed the rates that I previously had that I showed on the video, just because I want to make it accessible for everyone. I am getting a little bit more like calls within the day, so I'm probably going to limit the amount of time that I dedicate to it. But I'd love to help you guys out. If you guys have a idea that you guys want to pitch to me, and you guys would like me to invest in your business, then feel free to reach out to me that way. If you guys just want to ask me questions about trading stocks or something like that, then feel free to reach out to me there. Or when it comes down to real estate or the buying and reselling of anything, if you guys just want to dedicate 15, 30 minutes or an hour to talking to me, feel free to let me know, and I'd be more than happy to make that happen. Again, the link is down in the description. Just know I do have one more room available within one of my investment properties, which is where I house entrepreneurs and I help them with their startups, and I help them I provide gateways to stable jobs. The link for that is Milky Assets. Feel free to apply down below. You simply have to put your information when it comes down to your name, how we can reach out to you, and then I give you a call. That doesn't cost you anything or anything like that. And you would have to move in by September 1st. So just make sure that you can still do that. So I want to thank you guys for everything it is that you guys do. Be sure to watch yesterday's video if you guys haven't already. And it was the video that I uploaded in the morning about my tenants. I think that's a pretty funny video that you guys called out. And that's really just it. So continue working hard, continue doing what it is that you guys love. And like always, team, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care.